Now, if you're thinking of applying for a mortgage to buy a new home or you're thinking to refinance your home, I'm sure you would have a lot of questions regarding mortgage, especially in this market. Now, Bank of Canada has recently announced that they're going to hold their interest rate at 6.7% for now, but then what does it mean for you? Hi, I am Raman Mand, your local real estate expert, and with me is Raman Watts, the mortgage specialist. Now, he's here to answer some of the most commonly asked questions regarding mortgage. So, welcome, Raman.
Thank you
And
very much.
Raman has around 8 years of experience in the mortgage industry. So, Raman, my first question is now, in current market situation, what kind of interest rate would you suggest to a client? Like they should go for a variable rate or they should go for a fixed mortgage rate?
Okay. So in this case, the client can go for the fixed rate or the variable rate. It depends on the client nature. Because if the client think he can go for the higher payment if the variable rate is increased in the future, then I suggest go for the variable rate. Because variable rate is can be lower in the future also,
Right.
then it is a benefit for the client. If the client is conservative, no, I do not want to take any risk, then the option is for the fixed rate.
For the fixed
The
rate.
fixed rate of the two types, not the two types are so 2 years fixed, 1 year fixed, 4 year fixed also, but most of the client take the 3 year fixed or the 5 year fixed. But in this today's market, the 5 year fix is the very good rate, close to the 4.5 or even close to 4%. If the
Right.
client is can take the 5 year fix, but if the client think no, 5 year fix is little bit longer, then the option is
Then,
for 3 year fixed.
right.
But 3 year fix little bit higher is close to 4.7 or close to 4.8 or 9 or whatever the 5%.
Right.
But the 5 year fix is better now.
Better. But then if the client goes for a 3 year fix, then of course, if the interest rate decreases in future, then they have an option to refinance sooner than being in the
Absolutely.
5 year term.
Then they can convert from the fixed to variable after 3 years when the
Right.
term will finish.
Okay. So is there any discount which the clients can get on the prime rate right now?
Yes. So we are dealing with the more than 100 lenders. Lot of lenders are offering prime minus 0.25. Now the client can get variable rate close to 6%.
Okay.
Is a prime minus zero point 0.7, but it lot of things are matter: client profile, credit score, type of property, what type of the mortgage client is taking, insured, uninsured. These things are matter.
Okay. And then, what are the few like common mistakes which you see when the client comes to you for a mortgage approval and you see all the documentation? What are the top mistakes you find that if the client would not have done this, they would have been, approved for a better rate and they would have qualified for more mortgage?
In this case, I can suggest because of the first time buyers, mostly people do the mistake. Like as when we come to Canada, we always, the company is offering me the credit card. We are taking the credit card, so many credit cards.
Right.
So that ultimately reduce our credit score. The other thing is, I can say as sometimes the client has a very casual attitude. If I got any bill, oh, no problem, we can pay later on. My salary
Right.
is not coming. Then my salary came late. Then we can pay later on. It affects on your credit score.
Right.
So I think if the client do not these type of mistakes, then definitely the client will get approved better rate
Right.
and better mortgage approval.
So you're saying the client like they should not apply for too many credit cards.
Absolutely.
They should pay the bills on time.
Yeah.
And then what about like, as a realtor, I have had someone, they get pre-approved for the mortgage, then they get up, buy a new fancy car.
Yeah.
And then, when they go back to the bank, I've got the property,
Yeah.
my offer has been
Yeah.
accepted.
Yeah.
And then they just can't get the mortgage.
Yeah. Or even other thing when the client comes to us, oh, I have a almost $50,000 car, but they are paying the like a $700 to $800 per month for the monthly payment. So can you imagine this $800 reduce the mortgage approval for the 200,000?
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
Right.
Just only the loan of the $50,000, they can reduce the mortgage amount of 200,000.
Wow.
I always suggest to client, if you are looking to buy a car, no problem, you can buy or taking a loan. But first, you have to take the mortgage. After you can go for the
Right.
car.
Or if you really want to buy in cash.
Absolutely.
So that it
Yeah,
doesn't
that is a
impact your,
different.
credit score. Right. Okay. So now my another question is, for example, now for at this time with current interest rate, if what is the payment which is coming for 100,000 mortgage?
In this case, $100,000 mortgage amount, if the client is going for the 30 years amortization and the rate is approximately the 5%, the monthly payment will be close to $533 approximately. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. And then another thing which I wanted to ask is, for example, I have a client who've given an offer is accepted now for a particular amount. Now, when bank does the appraisal, now the appraisal comes lower than the amount for which we've given the offer. So then what happens in that scenario?
In that scenario, and we can negotiate with the appraisal, and in this case we can tell to the appraisal company these are of the neighborhood houses which sold, and these are their description, how many bedrooms, lot size, and construction year and everything. So we can definitely negotiate with the appraisal company, because suppose if the bank has given you the appraisal of the 600,000, let's see, one property, but in your neighborhood in the just only month or 2 months ago the one property same size of property sold and the appraisal was of the 650, then definitely we can challenge the appraisal.
Appraisal. So if it comes low and we feel that are we bought the property at the
Absolutely.
market price, so then we can go back to the bank and
Then,
say
yeah,
request for a appraisal to be
absolutely.
done
To
again.
revisit the property and just check. Sometimes the appraisal companies, due to COVID, they are just visiting the property on the outside. They
Okay.
are not going in the inside of
Inside
the
and
property,
right.
because sometimes the client has spent too much money on the renovation and new kitchen, new bath, everything. Then definitely the appraisals will higher
Will
the
be
higher the
impacted. Right.
amount. Yeah.
Okay. Now, another thing which I wanted to ask, of lately because of the interest rates have increased and people who are on the variable interest rate, now for them the payments have gone up way too much. So, what are the options if somebody who is actually homeowner is facing real hardships in making those payments? So, what options do they have?
In this case, the honestly, some banks have increased the payment. There is no control, and some banks are increasing the amortization period, or they are just getting the interest. They are not getting any principal amount. These are the options. So we can negotiate with our bank. My position is very hardship. I'm not able to pay the mortgage, and the banks can get some approval or some get exceptions. Okay, we can increase your amortization rate, or your principal will not decrease. Your whole mortgage payment will go into the interest part, not into the principal
Okay.
and the
So if I've understood it correct, you're saying, for example, if I have taken a mortgage, okay, my amortization was 25 years. I've paid my mortgage until 5 years. Now my payments are way too much for me and I'm not able to make those payments. Then I can request the bank to increase my amortization
absolutely
again to 25 years
25
or
years. Yeah,
30 years so
30
that,
years.
then I can, get
Yeah.
some leeway in the payments.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Even honestly, Raman, bank also do not want to get any bankruptcy or foreclosures. Bank do not want these things.
Right.
Bank always help to the clients to give mortgage. They can the client has buy the property and they want to stay in their home with families and
Of
a
course.
life. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, so these were the some of the questions which I wanted to ask today. Thank you so much for answering those questions. So, guys, if you have any mortgage related questions which we haven't answered today, please write below in the comment. You can connect with me or you can connect with Raman and we will be more than happy to help you. So, let us know what you think of this interview and if you have any more questions. Thank you so much.